Well, hello and welcome back, my battle language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the battle language guy, and we have this, finally, Meghan's speech of gender equality. I don't remember that she said anything about the topic, but let's dive deep into this speech to find out what is her true agenda. And yeah, compare her speech to Harry's speech at the UN. Why not? I see many international battle language bodies here and royal rogues too. Remember, this is the house of the royal rogue as well. I will be trying to make more videos, at least 2 videos a day until Christmas. I'm trying to work figuring this out. I'm still on the road, as you can see, not on my regular studio, so it's a bit hard for me to keep up. And I thank you for having patience with me making these lives, because it's far easier for me at the end of a long day of, well, actually working in other projects, being able to contact with you and connect with you and, well, make this discussion about what is going on. Well, first of all, I'm going to rewind this. I'm going to rewind this right now, and let's find out, where are you writing from? Austin, Texas, Scotland, Mexico, Brooklyn, Birmingham, Alabama, Texas, Mexico too, Brighton, Oklahoma. This is great. Amsterdam, Germany and Turkey. Hello, Scandinavia. This is great. Belize. Many international battle language bodies, and I thank you for being here. And this is your first time we talk about body language, human behavior, a lot about the royals and the non-royals too. And it's a great help for my channel if you just hit the like button. It's easy. Just scroll past or minimize your video and go for the like button, hit it, and we are good to go. That will be great. We're ready to start. I'm going to change, in fact, to this. I'm going to change to I have some observations. Before we go into the actual video, I would like to make some remarks here. For example, this tweet from Canal Citadel. Yeah, this is pretty much all the UK has to say back to the Ginger Clown and his orange escort. Oh my god, those words are a bit harsh. Yeah, Harry and Meghan FO fake royals. At least this message is family friendly. I'm glad about that. I've been doing too many F-bombs lately on my channel. I'm trying to fix that, but it's so unnerving. So many reactions that we have to talk about. And yes, this is another of my tweets. Well, one of my tweets. Can I make it this bigger? No, there's a bit of problem here. Yeah, Meghan's one young world speech. This is the too long, didn't read. This is the summary. References to herself are in yellow. And yes, this is more or less half of her speech. Whatever you see in yellow, that's references to herself. So it was quite focused on, yeah, my experience, my being here, my observations, my feelings, my everything, me, over and over again. And this is like the second half. As you can see, in every chapter was a reference to herself. It's not like she's trying to make a storytelling about another person, someone that maybe was thriving, or someone else's experiences. Like you try to not make it about yourself, but you realize instantly without watching the speech, that the speech was about herself. No doubt about it. She made that about herself. She has a real hard time trying to speak about other people or having any kind of reference, making any kind of reference to other people's triumphs or victories or anything. That you can see. This is the like the bird's eye view, like the 10,000 feet view. Is that correct? That's the correct expression. I got quite a few clips here, But I want to let's jump right into the let's see, yeah, debate itself, the speech itself. I want to talk about the speech itself. I'm gonna rewind. Okay, the moment that she's presented, I have a few other memes, but I want to keep it on point. I'm going to be playing that, listening to her words, and we're going to comment. I'm going to be reading your comments, and if you have any questions, you can send them through Super Chat so I can spot them and just go right to those comments and answer your questions. Just send a Super Chat. Far easier for me, and more than 4,000 body language buddies right now. How about it? We're live on YouTube, on Facebook, on Rumble, and on Twitter simultaneously as I speak. This is great. Well, I'm going to play. I'm going to be commenting this. It's just pretty much like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial.
Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. It is very nice to be back in the...
No, I don't think it's very nice to be back in the UK after all that has happened and all the booing, the Jubilee celebrations. But, you know, she's trying to be polite. She's trying to, say something. But, no, that is quite hypocritical. Nice to be back in the UK? What? Yeah, you had to mute it. I'm sorry, but we had to. It's much better. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put on my headphones and listen to her voice. If you're going to suffer, I will suffer with you.
UK. And it is very nice to be back with all of you at One Young World. As you'll likely hear many times this week, look, as we just heard, you'll hear all sorts of things. Some very heavy, some very uplifting.
Okay, something that I want to prepare you for the speech itself is the speech is like 7 minutes or so. Yeah, 7 minutes from this point on is 7 minutes. Is what I want to show you here is some bits that could be useful for you to learn what not to do and what you should do when speaking. This applies to every single format, conversation, speaking, what I'm about to say, and a comparison between Harry's speech at the UN and this speech, just to drive home my point that Meghan has quite more experience and she's got more let's say that charisma when public speaking, even if her speech is all about herself. And she doesn't care that Harry makes a fool of himself. She is way more natural. Up to this point, we have listened to her 15 seconds. And yes, at least in regards to Harry, is way more natural, spontaneous. She even repeats some words or makes some odd pauses that adds to the spontaneity to look natural. That's something that Meghan knows how to do, and she usually does it on her speeches, but it's important to make. I know that some of you find this revolting, but let's try to listen to this and let's see what can we get from it. What are the hits and what are the misses? Because in every single person's speech, no matter if you don't like the person, there's always something that we can learn from them. Okay, we're gonna talk about that. Is that red or crimson? Her suit, her dress is like crimson. I don't know how to define that red specifically.
But the resounding spirit I believe you will hear is that you are the future. But I would like to add to that you are also the present. You are the ones driving the positive and necessary change needed across the globe now in this very moment. And for that, I'm so grateful to be in your company today.
Okay, there's a couple of things that Meghan does right. That is precisely having the certain pauses after specific words, so the words have more weight, carry more weight. That is nice to stress here. I repeat. Even if you don't like Meghan, she does things right, and we should at least, try to pick or take the things that we could use And well, some of the things, especially the words she's gonna say, well, that will be a bit different. Try to notice the pauses in some words.
Necessary change needed across the globe now in this very moment. And for that, I'm so grateful to be in your company today.
Yeah, that is nice. That's something that we should do when we are speaking. It's not like Harry. Harry was the same frequency, the same speed of speech all the time, so it sounds monotonous and that sounds boring. Okay, that is the difference. Yeah, some of you I have read some comments in some platforms that are saying that I'm like defending Meghan now. Have you seen my Twitter account? Have you seen my Twitter account? Yeah, it's not at all. Not at all. This is the honest reaction. This is an honest reaction, unfiltered reaction. I already saw the speech, but I will try to be as fair as possible.
It was several years ago in 2014 that I was first invited to be a counselor at One Young World.
Okay, this is nice too. She begins storytelling about herself. That is not that wrong, okay? That is not that wrong, making or telling a story about yourself. That is actually like most TED Talks start that way. So we're not into wrong territory yet.
And in many ways at the time, I was probably a lot like each of you. Young, ambitious, advocating for the things I deeply and profoundly believed in. And also looking around and wondering, how on earth did I get here?
Yeah, that's something that she also does on her podcast. Well, in her podcast, she has to play with her voice a lot because we are just listening to her. And that is something that, yeah, I also recommend in every conversation or public speaking that you also play with your voice volume. Okay, sometimes you have to speak slower and with a lower voice, and sometimes you have to have a higher pitch or a higher voice. Sometimes you have to go faster, but that contrasts between faster and slower, making pauses, and the volume is what makes the speech interesting. This is, I have to say that this is the right way to do it. In fact, you see that Meghan leans into the mic and she speaks slower and like a hush, can I can I tell you a secret? You know that. Can I tell you a secret? Like that, the cut interview. You can imagine that sounded like this.
Believed in. And also looking around and wondering, how on earth did I get here?
Yeah, she's like making us some kind of secret, like she's sharing with us her thoughts, and that's why she speaks like no one else. How did I get in here? Yeah, how did I get in here? Well, you got in here. Well, that was back in 2014, so we can't say it was by marrying Harry, but you know that back in 2014 she was driving the point home. I want to be an activist of any sorts, and she was pushing for that. Well, she got to her fair share of headlines that said that she was some kind of activist, and you know that headlines are the single most important thing in public relations, because that's the proof that you are an activist. If you're an activist but nobody knows about it, are you really an activist? You know how PR works.
Have any of you today so far had that feeling, that pinch me moment where you just go, how am I here? Oh, it's a lot. And at that dinner, there were about 20 to 30 of us for the counselors. And there I was.
That was my drink water reminder from my mobile phone. Whatever. If you're watching this, I remind you to drink water.
The girl from Suits.
Yeah, this is we're beginning to enter cheesy territory with this. I was the girl from Suits. Like I was nobody. When in fact, thanks to Tom Bauer and the book Revenge, we know that she used that the girl from Suits. Like I am the girl from Suits. I am the girl from Suits. She used that to her advantage. So it's like she used that line for, well, both ends of the
Girl from
spectrum.
Suits.
And that smile, that delight, she's showing all delight. Well, at least she's really trying. She's compressing her eyes, like to show a genuine smile, but it looks a bit, that it lacks something to really be this a smile. Did she already say that she was young at the time? I think she said that I was so young or something around that. Let's see, super chat. Is it just me or does her voice sounds like nails on a chalkboard? Thanks, Margie. Well, she uses that voice. That's her regular voice. And knowing Meghan, she must have had voice training for her podcast and to sound more authoritative, to have a deeper voice, to relax her face and neck muscles so her voice can be a bit deeper. Everyone wants to talk a bit deeper, not Elizabeth Holmes deeper. Well, that's creepy, but you can say, for example, but you can tell with me, I'm not a professional at this and at voice acting or anything, but you can tell that when I get excited or very active or euphoric in my lives, my voice pitch tends to rise. Okay, you notice that. I should try to keep more calm and collected. I could be like excited about the topic, but I need to try to keep that in check. Okay, like this, what I'm doing right now, the voice pitch lowers a bit. It's time to drink your whiskey. Right now, I ran out of whiskey. Yeah, I love your hot Latin fire. Oh, thank you. Thanks for that, Lisa. You made me blush right now. I ran out of whiskey today. It has been a lot of whiskey these days, but I ran out of it. Have no booze to support my duty this evening. Thanks, Johan. Thanks for that. So I was the girl from Suits. Like I was a nobody. That's this intention she wants to say with that sentence.
And I was surrounded by world leaders, humanitarians, prime ministers, and activists that I had such a deep and long-standing respect and admiration for.
I think she didn't know half of people at that place.
And I was invited to pull up a seat at the table.
This is important. She claims that she was, I was invited, that they picked me. No, she campaigned heavily. She heavily campaigned for a seat at that table. That's what you do. You campaign for a seat at a table, so you are seen with them, so you make the headlines, so you appear in the media, and then you can claim that you are an activist. That's how it works. It's like, I saw these days, was yesterday, that I saw this scheme of the Instagram checkmark. You know, the people that get a blue checkmark on Instagram, and there's this scheme that you can pay like $25,000, and these agencies make it seem like you are a musician. Doesn't matter what are you. These agencies make you seem like you are a musician. And do all the things. They put you on Spotify, they put the fake views, the fake subscribers, the fake YouTube videos, everything. So you can fake being a famous musician and get your Instagram badge. That's all. This is the clout mafia. This is the clout mafia. You want to have the reputation of activism. You need the PR, you need the headlines, you need the blue check mark, you need all of that to make it seem that you are for real. I can't tell that much because I got a check mark on Twitter, yes. But it was for my royal commentary efforts and appearing on mainstream media. It was with my sweat. I earned that.
And I was invited to pull up a seat at the table. I was so...
Harry has a face like he's containing. He wants to take a dump. Like he's expecting is luckily as soon as Meg finishes, we are going out because I need to go to number 2 right now, ASAP, right now. Poor Harry, he's really tense. Yeah, really tense. He's counting the seconds. Oh my God, it's still 5 minutes to go.
Overwhelmed by this experience. I think I even saved my little paper place card that said my name on it.
Yeah, she also tries to sound playful, okay? Sadly, it's hard to sound playful. Need to drink a glass of concentrated lemon juice after hearing her. Yeah, that will help you. That will help you clean your soul, Tiatra. Yeah, that will surely help you. It's like she's trying to sound playful at that moment. But since we know all that she said about the royal family, how she keeps stabbing the royal family in any way she can, that playfulness doesn't go well with what we already know about her behavior, about herself. So it's a bit odd to try to go that route. At least she's trying to be engaging. At least she's trying to be like charismatic on her speech. I give her to that. I give that to her, and it's like 7,000 body language bodies watching now. Thanks for being here. Let's continue.
A little paper place card that said my name on it.
Yeah, she's doing some serious facial aerobics. She's tensing. She's using all muscles of her face except for this area. I could say that maybe she got Botox or something because this area doesn't tense or move at all. It must be Botox.
It's just proof. Proof that I was there. And proof that I belonged. Because the truth was, I wasn't sure that I belonged.
Yeah, this kind of words are important. I was not sure if I belonged. Okay, it's like when you give it a speech or write an article, you have to use the tropes and the structures and the triggers that every human being is going to be identified with. I wasn't sure that I belonged is a crafted sentence to that triggering sensation that we say, hey, I'm a failure. I'm afraid that people find out that I'm a failure. It's like she saying back then that I'm such a fraud. But it's that imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome is that you are doing the best you can, and even so, you're afraid to be like unmasked as a fraud. Okay. So she's trying. Oh my God! I paused Meghan. I paused Meghan looking straight into us. Yeah, this is my question. Where's the advice to the young people? I think at some point we're gonna reach to that advice to the young people. I hope we get to that soon, and to the gender equality. And they said that was her speech was gonna be about. I don't know, because the truth was I wasn't sure that I belonged. That is something she's trying to connect. She's trying to connect with that sensation that every single one of us have felt at some point of our lives. The problem is that empathy is not a single sentence or a couple of words. It could sound patronizing, especially for being so focused on herself, on she.
I belonged. I was so nervous. Oh, I was so nervous.
I could make a Meghan impersonation. I want to know how many other speakers were there and how many were in the audience. The whole speech was, I did so well and now I have a husband surprise. Yeah, there was this guy, I forgot his name. It was the man that made the introduction to her, to introduce her to her speech. She gave her speech, and as soon as she finished her speech, they just goodbye. They went away. And maybe that might have something to do. Yeah, Bob Geldof. Yeah, thanks for that, Daisy. he made a speech, he introduced her, and then she entered the scene, but as soon as she finished, they left. I doubted myself, and I wondered
if I was good enough to even be there, if what I was doing in the world, albeit important and meaningful as far as I saw it, was it deserving to have a seat at this table?
She's still speaking about herself, okay? Hasn't changed the topic.
But one young world saw in me what I wanted to see fully in myself. They saw in me, just as I see in you, the present and the future. And I reiterate that point because oftentimes we speak to young adults about the years ahead, about what you'll do, what you'll have to adopt to fix from previous generations.
I have to thank her for not referring to her struggling childhood and not knowing what she's going to do in the future.
And also what legacy you will leave. But too often in that, we neglect the point that you're doing it now.
Yeah, that's also that's Merrick. That's Merrick. This is maximum Meghan Markle. This is maximum Meghan Markle. This is a fake smile. This is a fake smile. This is a fake smile, and nobody can tell otherwise. It's like evil. Like this this reporter who made the cut interview said, well, has an almost evil look. Well, there you have it. Full on Meghan.
You here in this present moment, this is where it's all beginning. The first year I joined the delegation in Dublin,
the first year I joined the delegation in Dublin. Again, talking about herself, hasn't changed the topic. Let's talk about the issues we need to solve. Let's talk about the issues in your countries. Let's talk about 3 examples of 3 young leaders that have made a difference. No, let's keep talking about myself. I want to talk about myself. I have 7 minutes to talk, and I will use my 7 minutes to talk about myself. Because no, the young leaders, I don't care about the young leaders. I don't care about the issues that whatever one young world wants to solve. What is the agenda here? I care about my agenda, and it shows. This is, I wonder, you have the opportunity. You have the opportunity to change the narrative, to change the global narrative about yourself. And you still make it about yourself. You can't expect people to keep to change their mind about you if you keep doing the same over and over again. What kind of bad reputation is that? What kind of bad juju is that? Yeah, it's attention, but for how long can you go with the wrong kind of attention? Because the right kind of attention is the one that you get when you offer real value, real content, but not even 7 minutes, and have an empowering speech. An empowering speech, have the opportunity to give an empowering speech. She makes it about herself. I want to think that she thinks, that she believes that talking about herself and her experience and whatever is something empowering, that she is the example she should talk about. So disingenuous to me. Do you think she writes this dribble herself? I'm sure that she writes this herself, and there's a ghost writer that edits for clarity and says, well, there's too much me on this. We have to, soften that a bit. Truly, she has done nothing that would be shining example to anyone. Z-list actress, bad podcaster, lies, and grandiose inflated ego. Thanks, Deb. You have summarized it quite well. Deb Martin Irby. So, we continue to, distort you. Thanks, 8,000 body language bodies and royal rogues sharing this torture with me. I salute you. And just hit the like button. That will be great.
In Dublin, I worked with a young woman from Eritrea, and she described how she had escaped her home country, fleeing with bullets fired above her head.
That's nice.
I still remember it so well.
Well, she comes back to herself again. I still remember it so well. Okay, but you could keep telling us about this story about this young woman, this young leader that made this. Well, I remember it so well.
I remember my shock.
I remember my shock.
I also remember her courage.
Oh, nice.
My recognition of how much
My recognition
continues to go on each day with so many turning a blind eye. And
all the reference she made, like 2 or 3 of those references was to herself. I worked with a young woman from Eritrea, and she described how she had escaped her.
With a young woman from Eritrea, and she described how she had escaped her home country, fleeing with bullets fired above her head.
Okay, what if I was her speechwriter? I would have gotten this anonymous story about this woman from Eritrea that escaped her home country with bullets and everything. I will have made that the 60% of the speech. Storytelling, just plain storytelling. Make it 60% of the speech. And only 40% of the speech talking on just 10% at the end, talking about herself. You should show the speech Amber Heard did in 2020 Women's March. She is always talking about herself. Oh, that will be nice to do some research about that. I remember this TED Talk from Malcolm Gladwell. I love Malcolm Gladwell's books. I think that's a guy that knows how to craft a story, an amazing storyteller and an amazing crafter of ideas. And I haven't read about him much lately. I don't know what he's working on. But Malcolm Gladwell made this speech called The Northern Bomb Site. I think that's the name, The Northern Bomb Site. And that speech, I think it lasts like 14 minutes. I don't remember correctly. TED Talk lasts around 14 minutes. And 95% of his talk, 95% of that talk is just storytelling, just telling a story, nothing else. That was impactful because you are at the edge of your seat listening to the story, and it's just at the end, like in the last couple minutes, that he has this idea, this morality, this thought-provoking conclusion, and it drives the point home in a way that you can't forget that. So storytelling is a great vehicle for your ideas, and Meghan could have exploited that here for millions of people that will be listening to her. She could begin her transformation as a public figure right here with a story like that. It's not my story, not telling her story again. Okay, that will be more impactful. That should be more than half of her speech. The story of this woman, that will be the right way to do it. But she won't. She abused the bronzer. Yeah, that's a whole topic on Twitter right now. How many layers of spray tan did she get? Why are you giving her ideas for free? Because I know for a fact that I can give Meghan and Harry all the ideas in the world, because I have, and they haven't acted upon any of those ideas at all. But you, my body language buddies, you're listening to me. You are the ones that I care about. If I see something that works, or if I have a comment that works, I will tell you what will be the right way to do this, so you can use those tips. I don't want to call them lessons. They're not lessons. They're tips in whatever conversation, speech that you might have. So you are the ones that I care about, because I know that you might say, hey, maybe that could work next time I have to speak in public. and you will use it, and you will remember that it works. And you don't have to take my word for it. Just try it. Just try it. Make more than half of a speech that you offer, or even a conversation, a story. Learn to craft a story. The blood orange is a variety of orange with crimson, almost blood-colored flesh. I always mention this YouTuber that is whose name is Mr. Bolin. Mr. Bolin is one of the greatest storytellers that you will ever see in your life. So just go and subscribe to his channel, Mr. Bolin. His storytelling abilities are out of this world.
I still remember it so well. I remember my shock, and I also remember her courage.
By the way, I also remember her courage, but I mainly, the first thing is I remember my shock, my feelings, me.
My recognition of how much continues to go on each day with so many turning a blind eye, and yet despite all odds, she, like so many, still persevered. I followed up that trip, as David mentioned, to joining the delegation again in 2016 in Ottawa. I was very lucky to receive a day off of filming specifically to take a quick flight from Toronto up to Ottawa and to be able to join this work again for One Young World.
Okay, so far what she's we wanted to know more about that story that you just started, instead of switching back to you and telling us about your schedule, your past schedule in 2016. I was very lucky to receive a day off of filming, specifically to take a quick flight. Yeah, because I was a famous actress now, to take a quick flight from Toronto to Ottawa. And what is the punchline here? What's the line, the morale?
And to be able to join this work again for One Young World.
And to be able to join this work again. Be able to join this work again for One Young World. Generic. It's not specific. It's boring. It's boring. She has the ability to deliver the speech the right way. She can use her voice. She knows how to use the frequency, the rhythm, the volume, everything. She's got the chops. I've said it. I've acknowledged that in Meghan since more than a year ago. But the content is the most nothingness, a vacuum. Yeah, waffle.
Able to join this work again for One Young World. Being with some people that I admired most, including former President of Ireland, Mary Robinson, who you heard from earlier. I joined you in London in 2019, and by that point, it's fair to say, my life had changed rather significantly. I was now married, and I was now a mom.
Yeah, married into the royal family.
My worldview.
Notice this. This is. I want to think that there was no applause sign that light up, and so people know how to applaud. That would be really, really cheap. Let's say that people began clapping by themselves, but that is something that you can drive as a speaker and make some kind of cue with a pause, with a well-placed pause after an emotional moment, so people on cue begin to clap, and they are just going to do it organically. That's something that you can do as a speaker, and that's a trick. That's a trick that Meghan did here, and notice how she does it. Again, you might not like Meghan, but she knows how to do this, and I want to explain to you what does she do to get that moment, okay, in the public, because even if she got some help, like someone clapping, maybe it was one of the Netflix crew that knew when she said, "My son," had to clap, maybe, but she did something I want to show you. Her self-importance knows no bounds. Yeah, Mindy, that is without any doubt. Let's take a look at this.
My life had changed rather significantly. I was now married, and I was now a mom.
Yeah, maybe it was I don't know how to say it in English. A claque. A claque is in Spanish. The people in the public. You have maybe you were at an opera or anything back in 200 years ago, and you have these people that began to applaud or clap at certain points of the show, so all the audience knew that, well, it's time to clap. Okay, it was the unofficial sign of applause. Yeah, back then, maybe she got something like that. I maybe applause track. Yeah, and laughing track will be nice. It would be nice to add a laugh track to this. But well, let's say that maybe she's got her people in the public, in the audience, that knew that when she got to the point, I was now a mom. Oh my God, they had to clap too, so everybody began clapping.
My worldview had expanded exponentially, seeing the global community through the eyes of my child. And I would ask, what is this world he would come to adopt? And what can we do? What can I do to make it better? I am thrilled that my husband is able to join me here this time.
Harry is as joyful as ever. Look at that face. Oh my God.
Be able to see.
He's brimming with all the happiness. It's like he cannot contain so much joy inside his body. Every cell of his self is light up in this feeling of, well, I don't know. I ran out of words. Happiness, joy, whatever. It's like, you see, I mean, like that. I know. I sometimes feel bad making fun of Harry.
And witness firsthand my.
Yeah, but see, absolutely, see, yeah, that's sadly that's one of the reactions we have. That even Harry looks like he cannot stand. If she's mentioning her husband, don't you think? Now it's my question. She's mentioning her husband. Don't you think that Harry should at least that knows that cameras are on him? Meghan just mentioned him. Don't you think that he should like sit a bit upright, like shoulders broad, chest broad too? Oh yeah, so much emotion.
To be able to see and witness firsthand my respect for this organization, this incredible organization, and all that it provides as well as accomplishes. One Young World has been an integral part of my life for so many years before I met him. So to meet again here.
Before I met him, before I married into the royal family, that's important to mention because I got here all by myself. I became an activist all by myself and my PR company, of course.
On UK soil, with him by my side, makes it all feel full circle. And just as a sidebar, earlier this afternoon, we sat down with a few of you delegates, and it was incredibly inspiring, the resounding themes that came up about representation, about inclusion, about access, and about trying to shift the global perspective for all of us as a global community.
Yeah, this is generic rambling. This is generic, it's general, it's non-specific, it's filler words. It's not quite word salad. I'm not gonna say that this is word salad, but it's generic, and generic is always boring. Oh my God, he's so ashamed. Yeah, Harry is ashamed of this. It's not comfortable. He looks as comfortable as he was on that United Nations speech. Remember that Harry who was like tense and everything. Yeah, global perspective. Oh yeah.
To one of curiosity over criticism. My husband has long advocated for important and necessary impact in the world, focusing a huge part of his life's work on the youth. So for both of us, bearing witness to the power that you hold in your hands and the unbridled enthusiasm and energy that you have.
Yeah, like unbridled enthusiasm and energy of gingerbread.
To see things come to fruition, it is just an absolute privilege. I'm incredibly humbled to not just stand before each of you, but to stand beside you. We often hear people say the time is now, but I'm going to double down on that by saying your time is now. The important work can't wait for tomorrow. And this week, the world is watching as you cement your place in history by showcasing the good that you are doing today.
Again, it's also always generic, nothing specific. It will be much more impactful if all the ideas that she wants to convey that are generic ideas, now is the time to change the world and yada, 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 you focus them around the experience of one person that is not herself, okay, because that is not right, and tell that story and let the story illustrate, drive the point home, and people are not going to will not forget your speech. I don't understand. Why is this so hard for Meghan to understand this? Or if it's that she doesn't care at all. What exactly do they do for this charity? They appeared in this kind of events, so the event has clout, has attention, everything, and then well, they collect money of donors, and well, I think Harry and Meghan, do they have any financial interest on this? Well, not financial interest, but I know that Netflix crew is following them so they can have some sort of content for their upcoming, yes, reality show, dear Harkles. Call it like it is. It's a reality show. It's not, how do they call that? Like a live documentary or I don't know. There's a word and documentary. No, it's a reality show. It's a just plain reality show.
In the present moment, as we embrace the moment of now to create a better tomorrow. And with that, it is my absolute honor and pleasure to declare this year's One Young World Summit officially open.
Yeah, and people, there's a thunderous applause because, well, she finished, finally finished her historical documentary. Is this they making a historical documentary of themselves? Historical or hysterical? There's a big difference in that. Big difference. Oh my God, this is the longest speech she had to memorize since Suits. Not worth it. Absolutely not worth it. I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna change to my main field. Let me see. Where am I here? Brave browser. Why didn't change? I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna have to click on this. Click here. So yes, for you that are coming late, because there are more than almost 9,000 body language bodies now, for all of you coming late, this is Meghan's speech. This is the first part of her speech. In yellow are all references to herself. Yellow, you see references to herself on her speech. I did not listen to anything about gender equality. Did you? Gender equality? Anyone? No? Well, an empowering message. It was just generic. Not a word salad. It was quite clean and plain to understand. but not emotional, not empowering. Yeah, thank God it's over. This the other half. All this in yellow are reference to herself. And well, this is what we got. This is what we got with Meghan. I'm going to check if I have more. Well, you remember this meme, memories like the corners of my mind. Let me see. This is my profile. This is myself. This is Liveception. This is me doing a live on Twitter and me seeing the live on Twitter again. Let's see how many. Let's see how deep can we go down the rabbit hole. Hey, there I am. There's me looking at myself doing live, looking at myself doing live, looking at myself doing live. How fun is this? This can be a Christopher Nolan movie. Hey, we can do this forever. Or whatever. Let me see any other comments here that I wanted to highlight. And yes, I blocked One Young World. You can say that. I block people preemptively. I have blocked most royal commentators that I know that I'm gonna block me at some point, so I preemptively block them. Where were the words of gender equality to open this event? It summarized zero of the core message. If it was me, myself, how young I was, like you, she was 33. OMG, only 4 speeches in her life before she met her prince. My child changed her perspective. Yeah, she had the royal money. A lot of here, let me see. En español, Jesús, siéntete orgulloso. Sí, ve tus videos, se contuvo de tenerlo atrapado. Él tan miserable como siempre. She's saying in Spanish that she wasn't using the Markle claw with Harry. That Meghan might actually be listening or watching my videos because she did not use the Markle claw with Harry here. Harry was free as a bird. Finally, he was free. But what happens? That is he happy? Is this man happy? You see him happy at all? At least Meghan had a nice smile here. Finally, we see Meghan with a nice smile. But now Harry was a bit. Oh my God! Have you thought about being a comedian? Yeah, it crossed my mind. How many layers of spray tan would you like? Yes. Oh my God. This is what I was talking about that, that bronze. That bronze. I don't know how to say it. Tan was overkill. Oh my God. Yeah. I thought she was going to tell that anecdote again. Have I told you the time I was 11 and I made P&G change a dishwasher soap ad? I was expecting it. Thank God she did not go for it. And this was, I forgot his name again. I'm sorry. But he had this vibes from Weyland Yutani, the guy from the Alien franchise. Same clothes. Oh, whatever. And this is something that I tweeted as soon as they were entering. And yes, that smile, that's Meghan. That's Meghan's trademark smile. We can't escape. Bob Geldof, yeah, I always forget his name. Bob Geldof, yes, dressed exactly like that. I forgot his. And yes, had a flashback of Lin Shaye in There's Something About Mary. Remember this movie? Yeah, it was a very funny character. That tan, yeah, that is that shade. And the clothes says, "Hello, Mofos." It is Meghan, the clone in full flight. Full flight is not the right word. In full display. Yeah, full display it is. The Markle claw saying hello, Mofos. Yes, there we go. I don't know which other meme. The hairline, the 15 shades of Meghan. You already know that. And yes, this was a case. I was not aware of that case of a tan mom, a woman that tanned herself to death or something like that. That was so sad to watch. But why should I find this kind of things? And yes, maybe she's helping Netflix relaunch Orange is the New Black. Who knows? Maybe there's gonna a new season coming. That would be nice. What else to take? We also have this politics. Yeah, it was a joke. Many of you, I'm gonna get flagged for this. Somehow my interest in British politics has risen. I'm not gonna explain this one. And I'm gonna end with this meme for today. Today was a great day for H. I allowed him to roll down the car window. He was brimming with joy. Extract from the upcoming bestseller, The Bench 2. Yeah, absolute satire. Absolute satire. No, not. Yeah, of course, you know that this is fake because Meghan would never write such long sentences in any book. So, well, we are clear. We're clear about that. Yes. Hi, body language buddies. I'm going to change here to our. I'm going to change to the video. As we say goodbye with Meghan's mug, Meghan's smile at the camera. My body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. I don't know if you are up to a longer live with the Royal Rogue. Are you up with the live for a live with the Royal Rogue? I think I have one more hour left. Maybe I could start with the Royal Rogue and another live. If you want to keep the chat, if you want to keep talking about this, if you want to keep the gossip, well, let's switch to the Royal Rogue. I'm gonna finish this live and I'm gonna start on another there, like in 10 to 15 minutes. If you need to go to bed, well, that's it for today. But if you want to keep chatting, I will start a Royal Rogue chat in like 10, 15 minutes. My body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and until we meet again in another video or another live, remember to download my 100 body language tips right in the description of this video. And if you want to support my channel, there is also a PayPal link in the description too. The two most important words ever, as always, much love and bliss. Take care because I love you all. Bye-bye.